Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg of Graphs and Laughs, catching you up to date on what's been going on with the MLS data for Hillsborough County. And the data continues to be good. It's troubling, but good. It's good troubling in a way, and here's why. So activity prices are going up pretty nicely. Single fam's going up, 3-4%. It's just chugging along. Multifam's going up an unbelievable amount of late. Year over year, this past month, it went up 13.9%. So clearly there's strong demand, and multifamily is a little cheaper, so that explains part of it. Inventory's been growing a little faster historically for multifam, so that explains part of it. So there's strong buyer demand, that's very clear. But what's odd is that sales activity year over year hasn't done very much. It's up by 3% or so, or 4% for single fam, and down about 3% or 2% for multifam. So very little growth in activity, yet sizable increase in price. This suggests that there's very strong demand, but not much around. And that's exactly the problem. Inventory remains starved. And this is really interesting because about a year ago in July of 2018, inventory began to increase for both multi and single fam. And multifam took on a tremendous amount of inventory growth. It went up for 12 straight months at over 10%, and about 4 or 5 months in Jan, Feb, March, and April of this year, it was going up by 30, 40, and 50%. So there was tremendous increases in inventory relative to where it's been. And then it petered out, and just last month it began to turn negative. Single fam also began to go up last July, and it lasted a year, and then it ended. It's been petering off and been declining ever since. But the point here is it went up for a year in single fam, over a year in multifam. And listen to this. Where are we now and where are we then compared to in terms of months of inventory? In multifam, we're exactly the same, 2.3. So as inventory came on the market, sales increased, and we're just as inventory starved. In the single fam case, we started out at 2.9 months inventory, and now we're at 2.6. So it's even lower than it was. And in both cases, it's not a super all-time low, but it's near an all-time low. So we're really, really starved for inventory. That's the key problem, and you can't sell a house that doesn't list. Part of the reason sales have gone up, along with inventory, over the last year, essentially keeping the months of inventory available roughly even or actually declining, right, in the single fam case, is rates are a little bit lower. And rates are a little lower because the Fed got nervous. The Fed was afraid the economy was weakening in Q2, right, and in parts of Q3, and they wanted to take out insurance policy, but they're done. But this lower interest rate has helped juice sales a little bit, which has pushed inventories down, and also helped new construction. So that's a good thing. With new construction goes up, that creates new units, it creates more inventory. Hopefully that will help, but we're years and years and years behind in under building units. So this is not going to be a problem that solves itself very quickly, but hopefully low rates will help the builders build more units, and that will be helpful, right? So housing starts are a little bit better, as I mentioned. Sales are a little bit better because interest rates are lower. And this is because the Fed lowered rates. Now, the other big things to keep in mind are global growth is really slowing. It's not doing really well. Global GDP growth will be about 3%. U.S. growth will be a little slower in 18 and 20 than in 19. We'll go from 2.2 to 1.8. So we're doing relatively well compared to Japan, compared to Europe, compared to Australia, and so on. We're doing well. India and China are growing faster, but they're less developed, so it's not a fair comparison. So we're doing fine. The globe is pulling us down. I don't see any likelihood of recession in the next 9 months or so. It's really almost impossible to see it. Our economy is stable. The interest rate cuts have helped. And the biggest thing that we need now here in Tampa is more inventory. I remain not on recession watch. That's it for now. See you next month.